guys, today's video is going to be top 3 tips for recovering from a narcissistic relationship. And what I'll do is at the end of the video, I'm going to throw in a bonus tip as well as the 3. So let's jump right into it. But before we do, please just like and subscribe to the video. It just helps get it out there to other people who may need it. But with that being said, let's go. So we all know moving on from a narcissistic relationship can be difficult. It's obviously horrible. You're coming off the back of one of the worst things that'll ever happen to you in your life. So it's good just to have a couple of tips to focus on and make sure you're doing those things. So tip number 1 is no contact. So completely go no contact with your narcissistic abuser, if possible, and we'll go into that. So block them on all social media, block their phone number, don't message them, just completely cold turkey, no contact whatsoever. If you're in the situation where you have to have contact with them, for example, you've got children, you're co-parenting, you need to do child arrangements or pickups or things like that, implement what's called grey rocking, which is literally just minimal contact. I would also recommend, if possible, if you still have to have contact for things like child pickups or whatever, do it through a third party. So that's tip 1, no contact. Tip 2, reconnect with yourself. So during a narcissistic relationship, your self-identity and who you are is completely stripped away and replaced by what your abuser wants. They want you to be a certain way, they make you act a certain way. You'll find that you've lost friends, you've lost hobbies, you weren't allowed to pursue things you wanted to do. So now is the time to try and reconnect with who you are. Think about who that person is that you wanted to be, that you were, that you want to be now. Maybe you want to start going to the gym, maybe you want to start playing PlayStation or something. It could be something simple like that. But start doing it. Now's the time to do that, to really get back to who you are and live life for the person you want to be. Right. Tip 3, get some support. And that can be, something formal like counseling. It can be joining support groups, but it could also be just going out regularly with a good mate, having a drink, having a coffee, having a little chat about things. Doesn't have to be super in-depth, going into all the details of what happened, but that little bit of support for what you've been through, what you're still going through, really makes a difference. So I'd highly encourage that. I'm very vocal and very encouraging of attending proper counseling. I think it's very useful, very good for you. So have a look at that if you want to, but if not, just make sure you've got someone you can talk to. Right. I said at the beginning we'll do a little bonus tip, and my bonus tip is learn. So a lot of things happen to you in an abusive relationship. There's a lot of types of abuse. There's a lot of tools a narcissist use to control you, things like gaslighting, isolation, triangulation, love bombing, etc. All of those terms you hear about. Learn about them. The more you learn about them, the more you can understand how someone did these things to you. It's not your fault. You can forgive yourself, even though you don't have to. You feel like you do. I remember going through the same thing where you blame yourself, but once you learn about it, it really helps you move on from that. So I would encourage you to learn. I've got some YouTube videos on the things like gaslighting and isolation, etc. You can watch those. In my books, I cover all of these things. So if you want to grab one of my books, the link's in the video description. But there's plenty of material out there. Go and learn about it. It really helps you with your kind of moving on from everything. So that's it, guys. That's 3 tips and a little bonus to help you move on. Obviously, that is very high level, and there's lots more that can go into that. So if anyone wants to discuss that, please drop a comment in the video or reach out to me on my website, which is just jaredwhitaker.com. I do offer a lot of stuff around coaching around these things, but if you follow those tips, I think that's a good start. Right, stay safe, guys.